The following is the story of male detransitioner who feels very angry at the medical system after realizing that taking estrogen was form of assisted self-harm. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Detransitioning has been a swirl of emotions. I think it is for all of us. Throughout my journey of detransitioning, the main driver has been happiness. Joy at my own male body. Joy at living life without having to fake myself. Joy at living as my truest self. A radical self-acceptance of my male side that has propelled me forward to be the best version of myself. But now that it's been around 2 months, another emotion is starting to take hold. Anger. I'm so angry at the medical system that allowed me to do this to my own body. A system that let me create my own treatment plan for my problems instead of taking responsibility and care for me. A system that never took a moment to ask, could there be another reason you're dysphoric? Most of all, though, I'm angry at the people who traumatized me, my schoolyard bullies and my mother. I was made to feel so worthless as a man and a person, and I did feel useless. That feeling of complete failure as a man made me dissociate from myself and stopped me from ever being able to develop self-esteem. That caused my dysphoria, which in turn caused me to take HRT and self-harm my body. When I first detransitioned and looked at my breasts, I felt ambivalent about them. Now they feel more akin to self-harm scars to me. Scars that I put on my body because of how terribly I was treated as a child. Scars that will never allow me to move on and just be the man I was always meant to be. Scars that will stop the majority of women from dating me unless I lie about my past. The irony is, I was constantly told I wasn't enough of a man to have value, and in response to that, I took pills to grow breasts. And now, when it actually matters, for example, dating people will rarely see me as man enough. Almost every woman who is attracted to men doesn't want to date a man who thought they were a woman for almost 6 years. This whole situation feels like a really fucked up self-fulfilling prophecy that I was traumatized into. I love myself and who I am, and I know I'll get past this, but for now, I'm going to be sitting with my anger for a while. I have every right to be angry.
Here are some of the responses to the post. The link to the original post will be pinned in the comment section down below.
Yes, you do. Every right. I could have written this post myself. I feel it so hard. All I can say as a woman, and as a detransitioner who lost her perfect female breast to the cruel medical industry, making profit off of our self-harm. All I can say is you'll find partners. I don't know how the journey will look, but it's possible. I'm essentially a heterosexual tomboy at heart, and I like men and men's bodies in general, and I love when men are in touch with their feminine side. And if that meant that the guy had to live as a woman for 6 years to get there, cool story, bro, Lowell. Sending good vibes and definitely shared anger vibes.
Honestly, the hardest part of detransitioning for me has been the stuff that's not physical, like understanding what drove me to transition in the first place, dealing with my autogenophilic arousal patterns, and integrating my feminine side as a man without needing to alter my body. Takes some time and inner work to grow through all that and feel at peace.
I understand that. I'm very thankful I've been finding it pretty easy to go back to be man. But it does have its challenges at some points. This is just a small thing, but the other day I was crossing my legs in a feminine fashion and I stopped myself at first, but realized who gives a fuck. If I sit like a woman, that's okay. Breaking those older thought patterns from pre-transition and learning to just live freely has been nice. I'm also starting to come to terms with my role with my future family. I used to feel like men got to do basically nothing when it came to creating a child. But now I'm viewing myself as the support my future wife can depend on, while her body does its amazing thing. I'm so thankful I haven't had any autogenophilic patterns show up yet. To be honest, I've probably been a bit more into men lately, and imagining them desiring me for my male body feels really good.
That's good to hear. I still struggle quite a bit with gender dysphoria after detransing and still do sometimes, but it's better now and I am more at peace. I guess there is still part of me that wants to try to live as a trans woman, 'cause it was pleasurable, and there were aspects of it that I really did enjoy, even if overall there was more bad than good, and in the end it just feels healthier for me to let it go. I know I can never change sex, but I can still feminize myself with hormones, and that temptation is always there. I've just learned to keep reminding myself that it didn't lead me anywhere healthy. It was kind of like an addiction. That's why it was hard to let go for me. Thinking about becoming a girl still turns me on, but now I maintain that boundary in my head that I can never be a girl.
I'm glad to hear. You mentioned in your comment that you weren't sure if you would retransition for 3 years, and I totally relate to that. I tried to detransition in 2020 but failed, even though I really wanted to. I just didn't have the tools to handle my dysphoria at the time. I've definitely had moments of gender envy here and there, but it never was physical dysphoria, nor was it distressing. It was more of a feeling like looking at a really nice car, wishing you had it, but knowing it's out of reach, and that's okay. I think letting go of gender overall and accepting I can never actually be female-sexed lets me easily stop those feelings from festering into dysphoria again. It's still really early in my detransition, so who knows what will happen in a few months. I mean, if I woke up as a cisgender woman tomorrow, I wouldn't complain. There were definitely a lot of things about living as a woman I loved. It wasn't all bad. I don't think transitioning was going to solve my problems, though.
Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like to raise awareness and to help me out.